So here it is on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm still doing the same old shit. I know social anxiety is hard, but come on, I need to start practicing getting out of my box, especially if I'm planning on moving. Honestly, I don't know what to do. See, I went to a doctor's appointment this past Tuesday to go on a new antidepressants because the one I was on for 5 months and I stopped taking it within the last 3 months wasn't working. I felt nothing. I didn't feel anything any different. I'm still as depressed and miserable as possible. So I went to see him this past Tuesday, and I will be on a new meds called lexapro. I'm going to be on lexapro at 20 milligrams and take one tablet by mouth daily, so that's good for the next 30 days before I have to get a refill, which is good and all. I mean, at least I'm taking the steps to get better and saying suicide is not the answer. Although, me personally, I think with me, I would never encourage anybody else to do it ever, but I would encourage myself to do it because I think I'm too useless for this world to continue to have an alleged gift of life. Like, I think life is a curse, but who knows, maybe that's the depression talking. But anyway, what I really wanted to talk about is trusting myself, because that's a huge issue. Basically, I don't trust myself. Yeah, okay, fine, I'm taking meds to feel better, but then what happens afterwards? I gotta take action on doing something. I mean, I can't just sit around and waste away hiding in an apartment where I'm bathing in all of my fears, which is basically encouraging me to try to commit suicide again. Which, pretty much the passion is gone, but who knows? I mean, my self-harming days are technically over, but the thoughts are still there. It's trying to convince me I should go back to it. But I don't think I will, but I don't want to take any chances, so anyway. Here's the thing. I want to move on with my life. You know, the days I haven't wasted yet. I think of my 30s as a decade-long transition, because trust me, I think in part of how I grew up, in part of being a loner, struggling with my fear of being around people, I think I'm just meant to be a late bloomer to life, which means I'll be late to enjoying it, but I'll enjoy it eventually. At least that's what a positive thought would say. So I would like to think of it as a gap between my self-hating 20s to my live life to my fullest 40s, because I think it would take that long for me to get to that point where I'm enjoying every life moment, because right now I want to hate every last moment. So the question is, how do I move forward when I don't trust myself on any decisions to get my life going? Here's the thing, I was never meant to be in Minnesota. First of all, I never wanted to come here. I disappeared here. I ran away here. Here's the thing, while I did want it to move, I think I've really let my depression get to me, because looking back, especially at my journal entries, while my words are saying I am depressed, I was not clinically aware that there was such a thing, which means I don't think until around my near mid-20s I even knew depression existed. I mean, I had my issues when I was in high school, but I don't think I really thought anything of it. I didn't really pay attention to it, or I don't know. I really don't know, but I think depression really affected me, and I was letting it affect my decisions, because why else would I come to a place that I never thought of for a day? Here's the thing. Back in December 2006, I was trying to use the opportunity as I was getting involved in a lot of spending money. Basically, I used to be a spendaholic, and although I didn't realize it at the time, many years later, I think I did all of this to, and I seriously think this is true, because I couldn't find happiness in anything else. I was spending money as a way to try to cope with my depression. When you buy something, it makes you feel like you can get anything you want, or you feel happy that you bought something. And I don't know. I don't know the whole psychology, whatever to it, but I think I was using money to try to buy happiness, which of course was temporary. And when that was shut down, I would continue to spend money over and over again. And mostly it was just DVDs, but eventually as time went on, it was like cameras or MP3 players, whatever. But and this was starting to affect how I was paying my rent. And I don't recall ever getting an official eviction notice. I just became aware that this could happen if I continue to spend money to the point where I don't have enough to continue to pay my rent. But I didn't want to take any chances on being kicked out, or I wanted to take advantage of it. I wanted to move to see something else different, which is coming up to the point where I'm confused as to whether I'm making a mistake or not, because I don't trust myself because of this mistake specifically. I was posting Craigslist ads in various places, and someone answered it in Florida. So my intention the entire time was not to move to Minnesota, but to move to Florida. I even had told the guy that I had money saved up, and I wanted to move down there to see some new things and to try to get my life back on track. And he agreed with it. He seemed like a nice guy, and we were talking about it. Unfortunately, my trust in people was pretty much shot by then, and I wanted to continue to look for roommates as a backup in the event that he backed out of it, which ultimately ended up happening, but only because I was still looking for roommates, and he found out about it. So he's like, forget it, I know you're looking for roommates, you can't stay here anymore. So I once again was posting ads with Craigslist ads all carelessly until someone answered it in Minnesota, and I just came up here. For some reason, I told my mother. I think, as someone that is quiet and shy all the time, I do think I'm starting to believe I have a big mouth. I just told her for whatever reason, and she warned me, do not come up here. And because she told me not to, I did it anyway. And trust me, I gained nothing but misery out of it. I lost my 20s, basically. I mean, trying to sum up a 10-year history in just one short video, that just can't happen. So maybe I'll talk about it in a later run, but I ran into nothing but trouble and even more depression and suicidal thoughts and several trips to the hospital, and I can't. Not to mention, I did try to kill myself in this apartment. So I'm at a point now where I want to get better, and I have to think, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of the mess that I created? This is where I don't trust myself. I moved here and regret every minute of it. But the difference, and here I am wanting to move again, but the difference is I want to move for better reasons. I want to move to gain life experience that I've lost. I lived in isolation for several years, basically hidden here with little to no human contact at all. I want to see something new. If life is short and I should take every advantage of it, why should I remain in a place that's making me very unhappy to the point where I want to hurt myself again? Now, do I think I would do it again? No. But the suicidal thoughts are still there. I'm still trying to convince myself that ending my own life is the best choice for me. Because I'm useless and, nobody will ever love me, so why live? When people will never accept you, well, I can't even accept myself anyway, so, well, that's not true. I think I'm coming around to accepting myself as a person, but I think in terms of making mistakes and failures, I still think those are my two sensitive subjects that I still need to work on, because I think everything I do will be a mistake. I made so many mistakes. I'm convinced that no matter what I do, no matter if my intentions was to make my life better, I think everything I do will be a mistake, which will lead me to more failures. I don't think I can do anything but fail, really. And that's where trusting myself comes in. I think that I don't trust myself to do anything right. I don't think I can. I don't think it's possible. After all of the mistakes I did, and not to mention, when I left Minnesota, or left Virginia to come to Minnesota, my own family did not know what happened to me for an entire 4 years. I was virtually there 1 minute and gone the next. And it wasn't until 4 years later my sister found out where I was. Unfortunately, because of my circumstances now, I took her off of my Facebook. Now, I love my siblings. My parents are a different story, because my father's an asshole. My mother doesn't even talk to me on my own birthday, let alone any day of the week. So, while I would like to be in contact with my siblings, I can't do my parents. And that's another story for another vlog. The reason why I took my sister off, though, is because I'm embarrassed. I am embarrassed. First of all, she never knew I had depression. And she never knew I tried to kill myself numerous times. She doesn't know anything. As the oldest brother, I don't want my younger siblings to see me like this. Until I get my life together, and when someday we do talk to each other again, I won't tell her anything about this. I'm not going to lie about it. I just won't mention anything. I'll just say, if she asks what happened to you, I'll just say I was in Minnesota or something, which is true. I'm here now, miserable as ever, hopefully not wanting to choke myself again, like I did a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't to death, though. I was just doing it to punish myself for my stupidity, which is why I need to get out of here. Being in this apartment, in the toxic environment that it is, and being in part of a culture that will never accept me because they only accept themselves. I can't be here. I can't be a part of this. I need to be a part of something new. And even if that wasn't a reason, how's this for a reason? I isolated myself for years. I wanted life experience. I need to see something new. I left Minnesota, technically 3 times, but 2 of them was because I wanted to see something new. So I went to California. I went to San Francisco and had the best time of my life. Then I went to Phoenix and I had an awesome time. Which also, when I went to Phoenix, I went to the Grand Canyon for my 30th birthday as a way of saying, I want to start living, but I just can't live here. And the fact that I left Minnesota, so I wouldn't have to celebrate my birthday in a place that makes me so unhappy. I have to trust my gut that moving is the right thing, because you're moving out of a toxic environment. You're not necessarily running away from your problems, because you understand that your main problem is mental, which means that it's portable. But if I was in a place where I wanted to be, and I was dedicated enough to at least work hard so I can rebuild my life, I think I can do this. I think I can be better off. I know if, in my journals, I even specifically stated that I'm not happy here. I don't want to be here. But I still remain because of my fear. First of all, I lived to try to please others for many years, and I think this is one of those other reasons why I'm scared to take off on my own again. I lived to please others because I wanted people to like me, and they still don't. I don't understand why, but if you take away the depression, you take away the social anxiety, I don't think I'm a bad person underneath, but apparently I'm wrong, so, because I'm treated like I did something to somebody, and I don't do anything to nobody, so, anyway, I want to leave because I want a better life experience. I want to leave because I don't want to settle for trash, and I want to leave because I want to see what life has to offer. I trapped myself in this world where I don't want to be, but there's a bigger world out there, and if I don't like the world that I'm in, I should travel to another part of the world where I think I can do better, and if that doesn't work, just keep trying. I'm not trying, I'm hiding. And again, I'm telling myself to leave, but I'm trying to convince myself to stay. I'm torn, literally. Which side of myself should I listen to? The part that's trying to say seeing something new might help you better with your mood, or stay here because you're too afraid to do anything. I don't know. I don't trust myself, and that's where the trouble comes in.